Evil. I'm going to go on later and do a live here coming up later. The next live is going to have a lot more information, but this right now is to let you guys know the differences of Karina McClurkin's defendant and Delphi. What you're about to hear is a recorded conversation I had with Captain Deckard involving Flint Farmer that's being set up. Can't wait to become the federal eyewitness in his case. Some stuff's about to come to light, including the audio and video in full of Marlena Smith admitting to who did it and where. Wasn't it Flint? Wasn't it his place? But I want you guys to hear this, and I want you guys to let this get out.
Issue or grievance, he needs to follow the grievance procedure. The ACLU is...
When he's been trying to file a grievance, Flint Farmer, he's been told that he will be given the paperwork and allowance to do so. It's been over and over in days after days. They won't let him. So I've been talking about ACLU. You're got a man they're trying to set up.
Tell you the same thing.
Well,
he has to follow the grievance procedure.
What is your name and badge number?
My name is Captain Deckard.
And you yourself admitted that you know that he's got death threats on him active right now. Yes?
I have heard that there has been some people, and I would assume there would be, considering how the case is. But I could tell you that he is not in danger.
Didn't they say the same thing about Richard Allen? Which, yes, there's evidence on him, this, that, and the other, but yet, what happened to innocent until proven guilty? You got a deputy out of the jail, Captain Deckard, being the judge, jury, and executioner, knowing that there is active death threats. Him, Mark McCann, the sheriff's office, and mind you, sheriff's office out there, Howard County, has had multiple, and I mean multiple, suicides found dead in their cells. They're supposed to be under watch and protected up until their court date, so that a judge, jury, and executioner can decide their fate. And the reason I'm so pissed off about this one is when I see Marlena Smith, the prosecuting side, when I take the defense stand as a federal eyewitness, which should have already been in play from the very get-go, I had KPD trying to say 2017. And yes, that's the reason they keep moving Richard Allen. Flint Farmer, I'm telling you right here, right now, on my own life. If I'm lying, put one right here. I see Karina McClurkin. She left his house alive when I stopped to help her, when her ex-girlfriend, sister's ex-girlfriend, picked her up. And thank you. In my opinion, they aren't committing suicide. And I brought that up, and he's like, oh, so we were taking digs at us now, instead of talking like adults. And I'm like, I am talking like an adult. You've had multiple suicides at your county jail, or suspicious deaths that are following lawsuits coming against you. And excuse me, I'm putting this out here in a second. Just nerves are kind of off. But the reason I'm so going up at bat on this one is when I go on the stand in front of Marlena, and I've got audio and video where she named the firefighter that paid Gabriel Ellis that was sexually trafficking her more than once to go again. And when he went again, he choked and killed her. No. From what I know, it's like never went back to this house, because when she left, she got picked up by Paige Turley. Paige Turley took her over to pick up Gabe. Time it's up to them. And see, Starlight, you got it right there. But one thing I'm getting at is right now is look what they keep doing, moving around Logan. Prosecutors knew he had death threats on him. And knowing that you got death threats on a suspect that's sitting in your prison, not prison, but in your jail, and you know that they have death threats on them active, oh, we don't have them in general population. He was in safekeeping right now. This morning, they found 2 pills on the outside of his jail cell. The officer dropped. They got him going back in his red. Sorry about that. But they got him going back in its red. It's kind of like the you get in trouble, aka for trafficking is what they're trying to do, to send him back. And there is, for a fact, 4 black males and 2 white males want him dead. Back in that same, 2 pills, and they got him for trafficking on the outside of his jail cell. Not on the inside, like he dropped them. They found them on the outside, and they're getting him for trafficking of 2 pills of his meds that he was supposed to take on the other side of the jail cell. And with it out going into this deep subject and going deep into it, there has been a jailer last night that does not care for him whatsoever. Treats him like dog shit. Doesn't even treat him like he's just an inmate. She's got a vendetta against him. Whatever. But when you are showing this and bringing this to work and acting out at work against a individual that hasn't even went to their court date yet. And like Charles said, they said Epstein's cams are always on too. But like I brought up, and this captain didn't like it too much because I've proven there's been male and females alike. They've had multiple deaths out there at Howard County. Look it up for yourselves and look into that. But where I'm getting at is, active death threats, and you heard it from Captain Deckard out there at the jail division himself. He knows about it. It's the same type of case, and yet Flint he's coming up 31st on his hearing. He hasn't been given the full toxicology on how she died, any of that, the full discovery. They are withholding everything and have not been giving it to him or his attorneys. But unlike Delphi, not out in the open, nobody knows about this. They're withholding it discovery. The full discovery. The probable cause. Still withholding a lot of information. The medical side. When the coroner's office, their findings, was there anything done to the body? Was it in pieces? Was it a natural death? Was it an overdose? What was in the body? Was there any signs of trauma, like broken bone up here in the neck? Like if her mom's, what she's saying is correct, you choke somebody and you choke right here, the Adam's apple, there's a bone right there. It crushes. Once it's crushed, you're not going to breathe. Period. Once that bone's broken, you're getting tube, and that's about the only way you're going to breathe. It's going to crush that larynx, and it's going to make it where you cannot breathe. So all these issues, and even his lawyer's been able to file for a mistrial, and that's the thing. They're looking at, there's so many days. The prosecuting side has got, I think it's like 70, something like that, from the time you're held to the time of the 31st, or whenever the court appearance is this month, later on this month. Straight up, you've got a certain time frame where all the discovery, everything has got to be presented to the attorneys and to the defendant. If it gets out to family, so be it. Let it be known. But then, I'm going to be showing you here in about 2 seconds. And mind you, I got a new laptop. I've been trying to get it working. And I was going to try to get the green screen behind me. But I'm going to try to make this work here in about 2 seconds. Because then we have an individual I'll be going into later. And give me a second. The top one, second one, third, fourth, fifth are all the same individual. Well, I'm bringing this name up right now. I won't say names. I won't say of what case. But when you get a sick piece of shit, excuse my language, running around bragging that he gave somebody a certain drug concoction that he made himself to make sure he was dead, and then you're going to go around bragging about it to everybody you know, it takes a certain sick piece of shit to do that. There's murderers, rapists, and there's people like that actually what they do is they cut their drugs. There's a certain point of cutting, and sorry, it's driving me nuts. I got a lighter side and a darker side of my mustache. This is like, this side's, sorry, but one thing I was wanting to say on Randy Warner, I'll be coming after you and that Kokomo drug ring, the Kokomo crew, and the same crew and the drug ring. I'm not afraid to say it like the other YouTubers. Derek German, Dustin Prater, Garrett Kurtz, the same drug ring, my intel proved. And I've got that whole email with the prosecutor in the Garrett Kurtz case. They didn't want to look at the drugs. They didn't want to look at that direction. But when they did and they pressed him, he came out. This is why we killed her. Yes, this is why we killed her. She was about to expose the drug ring that they even belonged to. Back to something. This is what blows my mind. You've got an active drug ring, missing and killed cases all around, the ones in and around and involved in that drug ring, from Derek German, Libby's dad. You've got individuals on Anna's side. You've got family, longtime family friends like Anna Garth. She admits right there where she was friends with Ashley and her family for years. Mind blown. You've got a missing and killed family friends with the murderer. But let's not look there. Let's not look at the same drug ring that debts were owed, money and drugs were owed to by multiple members of the family. And mind you, one of the main suppliers was an active child exploitation, child porn, child predator in possession of an underage girl. And I've got where her own family, I asked, with Sierra Daly, with Gable Ellis, when he and the ones he went with went and did Delphi. I don't think she was. You got a family admission that right there. But let's not look there. Let's not look at the meth and drug supplier. Yeah, I'm going to talk to him about him. Because like Carroll County prosecutor even admits there is others involved. So you want to be close-minded? There's the door. The prosecutor's own words. There is others involved. That active drug ring. There's 17 kids missing and killed. And he was locked up, Charles Goodwin, the February 15th. Not even 24 hours. I want you to take a real close look at his nose and his cheek. The fresh black eye. This swelling on that side of his face on that mugshot. Not even 24 hours after the girls were found. If you look up and you look, it took a small foot. And that wasn't just a regular kick. It looked like he was going down to hold somebody's leg down. and somebody got loose and kicked him from the, like bottom up when he's facing down. Somebody kicked him from up. It shows right here on the nose, and it shows right there on the cheek. He was picked up not even 24 hours after Delphi. And I wasn't trying to. You're fine, Charles. I was just bringing that up to you. But Gable Ellis, the reason I want to bring Gable Ellis up, Dustin Prater and Derek German's ammonia theft happened right before, and they refused to name who they were going to give the drugs to, the ammonia to manufacture the meth. They refused to. Why? It was Gable Ellis. They're already supplier. You get me the ammonia, I make the meth. Do you realize Tubby Garth, Ashley Garth's dad, and you've got the Derek's family, got Anna's family, longtime family friends with not only Ashley but her dad. Did you realize the time Dustin and Derek went out and actually stole the ammonia, Ashley Garth's dad was actually sitting manager at that, they call it ammonia plant, but it's a co-op. Like Hamilton County Co-op, Boone County Co-op, Carroll County Co-op. That's what it is. They deal with ammonia, chemical products for farming. So they call it ammonia plant, whatever you want to call it. It's pretty much a co-op. And I'm not afraid to name names. And right there, Derek was dealing. Joshua Lake was dealing. You've got Del Wood dealing. But one thing I want to bring up is I'm not afraid to bring these names up, and I'm not afraid to bring this drug ring. There is over 50 cases missing and killed. When you got Tierra Jade, a bunch of others that Sonny keeps bringing on and praising. Oh, look at these people. They have done no wrong. They don't do anything wrong. Their names and the friends they are friends with and affiliated to are shown around not one, not two, not three, not four. But then you get two children executed in front of their dad in Marion County. The dealing dad for the same drug ring was executed after he watched two of his sons get executed. You got an individual involved in that case only getting robbery, and it's 2022 and 2018. They keep continuing this girl's case out, Brittany Drake. She's still walking. Helped facilitate. You come in and rob. You only get robbery when two kids were executed in front of their dad, and they execute the dad. You may not have been the one pulling the trigger, but you are just as guilty coming in and robbing that family, that dad, of his, not drugs, but just his money. Didn't take the drugs, but you took the money. Only get her for robbery. But what I'm getting at is the floor girls. It's been proven the mom refused to talk about the traffic that's coming in and out of their house. What it was involving, who it was involving, she flat out refused. And what is a Anthony Thomas? Look up Christy Lynn Martin. This is Tina Riddell's sister. Was one of the bigger dealers, and it was right under Gabe, one of his little pocket dealers, out of Flora, Indiana. What is a Flora firefighter, Anthony Thomas? Brittany Morris. I don't think so. I'll have to look that up. But what I'm getting at is this same drug ring got blamed before he died. Actually said for a fact it was not weed that Keegan went to Vegas to get and do. It was meth. And it was for Gabe and that drug ring. The same drug ring that you're going to find over 50 missing and killed cases. You've got 17 kids. Lives have been taken because of this drug ring. You're going to have names that pop up. The two survivors out of Logansport fires were best friends with Gabe Ellis, And his friends? And no, there was a new connection made out of Kokomo when it comes to that drug ring, and it's meth. But yes, ASAB, I don't care what he's saying, but I've got physical proof somebody at the time that was involved with that very drug ring. He himself said Gabe Ellis sent Keegan Klein out for meth. It was a meth run. Sent him out with money. So he's going to be flaunting money, saying he's got money, this, that, and the other. He was sent with a nice little bag full of money, and that was to get turned around and get product, meth, and other drugs to traffic back. Once he gets here, he's going to get a nice little bit of money. And, sorry, I had a text come through. But, multiple issues. But yet, the law does not want to look at Derek, his drug ring, Joshua Lank's dealing. Then you got Del Wood. Look up Del Wood. His uncle. 2022 just got charged for a 2021 meth dealing. But then there's individuals, which I can show you here second. I'll bring up a few names right now, and hopefully this works. And give me a second, I'm going to pull this around. One thing Keegan cannot hide is individuals like Armand A.B. Bridgeforth. Other individuals, and yeah, unfortunately, I know Keegan personally because I shook his hand. Why? Let's go down to his page right here. Something else he can't hide, and I'm going to try to bring up real quick on his page. Let's go to his post. Let's see the neighbor from hell and how I know Keegan personally. Watched him for years come to the neighbor from hell's house. And let's see. I'm trying to find the Bay pictures. Where I've got a friend of hers actually names her by name. Who she is. I knew her. This one right here. The pictures with Bay. We're going to go down to the other one. He's got more pictures of Bay. Let's go. The other one, Christy Conkle, end up running. But we're going to pull up Jessica Kimmel. It's Abriana's mom. And one thing I'm going to show about that is if you look up every dealer, including the latest 55, you're going to notice Lucky Singh is going to show up friends with every single dealer in that Kokomo cartel raid from 2018 to 2022. But every single dealer, the users alike are all friends with Lucky. Jeremiah Young, it's another one. Ashley Nicole Kelser. Her families are the Dukes, like Jeff Duke and the other Dukes, which is the Dukes is one of the kingpin family members of the cartel in Kokomo. And one thing I'm going to bring up is Jessica's been hiding her stuff, but let's just go in and see our about information. Stephen Oakes. I want to start opening some of your guys' eyes when it comes to his friends. You got Brent McLean, a bunch of others. And why I'm going to bring up like A.B. Bridgeforth is, let's right off the bat, let's go to Brent McLean. And you're going to see Kayla Grimes. It's multiple little stalkers that keep showing up. And these names keep going circling after circling after circling back to the same drug ring. Enough with that. I'm going to get to this here later. But if you look back on the beginning of this, I gave you a name, Randy Warner. He's been running around bragging that he killed an individual. Who's Rick? Richard? I found some of the names on Richard's wife's goes back to the one Keegan knows, Derek knows, and others. So I'm reading some of your guys' comments. But Randy Warner. We're going to have a great dig into Randy here a little bit later. I'm going to get on my desktop. Still got to do a lot on the laptop. You can see I get on it and like it's touchscreen. I can do everything I need to a certain degree. I got my camera set up on it like I have on my laptop. Get a job. I'm disabled. So guess what? Sit and spin. Report. And you're done. That's how we deal with trolls. Oh, I did. If you notice, I just went bye-bye. Reporting, and then I removed from channel. It's going to happen. You're going to have trolls. Especially from Marlena's side, which actually, like I just proved to you, there's 4 black males and 2 white males that got a death, what did you call it? I wouldn't say death threat, but it's more of a price on his head. Well, Keegan might want to start talking up about that drug ring until they drag him down. And he might want to start talking how a older and thank you, Danny. But one thing I'm going to say is, one thing, Keegan, if you keep talking to Keegan, he might want to speak up how he's been manipulated by an older child predator, Gabriel Ellis. I've got that in hard proof right there. Keegan didn't realize when he was a wee little, no bigger than a grasshopper, knee-high to a grasshopper. I'm going to put it this way. He didn't realize Jerry Lee Klein was family of his. And he didn't realize there was a murder involving Gabe Ellis' wife while he is incarcerated. Gabe talked to his wife on how to work with KPD and set up her black secret boyfriend to take the fall when she had involvement in it. Proven facts. But look up Stitz versus State, 2005, Jerry Lee Klein. And that is family of Tony, which is Jerry Anthony Klein, and Keegan's. There was a murder involving the Ellises being involved. And Gabe was allowed to talk to his wife before KPD ever got the chance to. Let me talk to my husband first. Okay. Well, he started talking to her, and he ended up telling her how to get out of it. her own involvement, let's go let you go state witness. And that little boyfriend you've been having while I've been in prison, mind you, Gabe was a white supremacist gang member, and I guarantee you right now where he sits, he's still a Saxon Knights, a white supremacist in the prison. And I wanted to bring this up, and the reason I want to bring up Jerry's case, when it comes to Stitz, William Stitz, yeah, Jerry Lee Klein is family of Jerry Anthony Klein and Keegan. It is family of theirs. I've already talked to another family member. It is a family member of theirs. Murdered in 2005. It is family. The only reason I'm bringing that up is the whole having it out for the Kleins. We manipulate. You send one smaller, in your eyes, individual, already made a bunch of money off of you. Hey, you can make some more money if you do this. If you talk to this person, if you have this person meet up with you here, for a little bit more extra money, we'll take care of the rest. Nothing to worry about. He's great at manipulating. He's great at having, let's see, there's 3 females. 1, 2, 3. Overdosed at Jay Lee. I won't say who I talked to. That's the thing. With me, unlike other YouTubers, I just don't hand names out and who I've talked to. It's just like Mia Rail's case. Talking to 2 family members of her about how her case was not a suicide. We'll get to that later. But what I'm getting at is, you got me going all over the place here. Hold your roll. Let me talk. But there's been a murder. Like I said, with Gabriel Ellis and his wife. William Stitz was the one they put everything on when Amy was there when he was killed, had involvement, but yet got out of it and no charges. But what I was going to bring up is, no sooner Gabe was picked up February 15th of 2017, when he went back into the prison, not jail, but went back into the prison system, you will find out William Stitz was found dead in his cell. And it was only after Gabe got back into the Saxon Knights white supremacy group, started getting his rank back, was when William, the final straw he had with William, got taken care of. It was only after Gabe got jailed and then transferred to IDOC. And when he actually got back into prison, got his little connections back, that's how William was found up dead. It's sick. But I'm going to say there's been 3 females overdosed at Gabe's house, not one charge. A male, the male is actually, how the hell are you supposed to be afraid of him when you're going back to him and you're admitted that? I've got that in written, I've got that in audio and video. Paige kept going back, and I've actually got the unredacted, when they pulled over Gabe's Blazer, came back in his name, unregistered, the expired plates. Then they had to run the driver, their license. Are you valid? Who was driving? Who was in the passenger seats? All that had to go on file. Unredacted version, I got a hold of. Paige Tilley was in the driver's seat. Her wife was in the passenger seat. You've got Gabe in the back with Sierra Daly. If you're so afraid of him, why were you chauffeuring him around? And I've got that in hard facts. You were driving, your wife was in the passenger seat. February 15th, 2017. If you were so afraid of this dude putting a gun in your mouth like you painted the picture out on Sonny's page, and you're getting praised and bowed down to like you're a saint, you do no wrong. If you're so afraid of this dude, why were you chauffeuring him around? And that's in cold, hard facts in police documents. Unredacted, mind you. They can hide it all they want, but they cannot hide what was on paper and on the calls. You can get the audio and video, not audio and video, but, well, yeah, you can get audio and video, like the body cams I'm in the process of getting that's going to show you and your wife in the passenger seat. Imagine that. But when it comes to what was said on dispatch, I've got that part, and then I've also got the in-writ documentation on who was driving, who was the passenger, and the passengers in the back in Gabe's Blazer. If you're so afraid of him like you painted the picture on Sonny's page, why were you chauffeuring around? Where do you want to go today? Okay, hey, get in, I'll drive you around. I'm supposed to be all scared of you, but get in. Let's leave your daughter's apartment after I was there with you all night. Oh, like I'm afraid of you. I'm telling you, she did the same thing she did when it comes to Delphi case that she pulled on Karina's case. No sooner that they used her vehicle, how do you think Karina's remains were transported? She used her truck, they used her truck, on however and whatever happened, she got rid of it shortly after Karina's case. And yes, she was a drug user, a high-level drug user, and Sonny's been painting as a saint, a goddess. And yes, Charles, she was. You can see some of her ate-up pictures and stuff like that, but yes, she was a high-level drug user, and I got a feeling where Gabe has got her like this is the overdose of her husband and father of her child. Not too much longer after that is when she came out, and I've actually got documentation where her and LaBrittany were running around saying they were a couple. There's pictures of them. There's documents on Facebook saying, oh, we're a couple. This is not too long after her husband had an overdose at Gabe's place. Mysteriously died. To me, I actually got a feeling, I'm starting to wonder if she had Gabe hot shot, made sure that her husband was going to overdose, knowing that he can get out of overdoses at his location, not a problem. Don't know how. Beyond me on how, but yeah. But yeah, I'm trying to fix it. I got a hole in my beard. I wouldn't say a hole, but there we go. I got the jihad beard going on. Try and get it up where I can start braiding, or it's all. But yes, you guys are gonna see. Yes, my hair is down, and yes, it's super long. I was trying to have the hat on, but it's too hot in here. I've got the heater on, and we're good. I had to take the hat off. I was burning up. You can't tell. I'm starting to get red in the face, and I'm burning up. Just trying to look halfway decent, but you know what? I'm not here for looks. I'm here for the cold, hard facts, and I'm here. What I was getting at was Paige came out that she was gay shortly after her husband and the father of her child, which she would have had paternity, she would have had visitation, court issues, divorce issues. All that just went off the table if he was dead. Overdose, more like killed, taken care of, as a favor. And involving this favor, if she doesn't want the truth to come out that she had Gabe Ellis pretty much overdose her husband, she's at Gabe's beckoning call. Not only to free drugs, a little bit of money, mainly the drugs are, that's pretty much her kryptonite. But whenever he needs her, she's a call away. Need this done. Want this done. Oh, you don't want to do it? Well, I can easily make a few phone calls. I don't think you would like getting out why your husband died. How your husband died. Truthfully, I think it's information where if he goes down, she's going to go down with him when it comes to the overdose of her husband and the baby father. Let's put it this way. Wife Lilith, ask Keegan. Was it at Abriana, her house with her mom, her brother, and her now stepdad out on the front stoop. Disabled vet guy walking by. Walking with a cane, walking with two little girls, and a woman. Keegan knows me. Shaking his hand. Was introduced to me as Abriana's boyfriend at the time. Same time he had the accounts. He was coming over for at least a couple years. Seeing his vehicles going to and from the house. I call it the neighbors from hell. But ask him about Walnut Street, Abriana, and meeting me. Walking with the cane, I had braces on my legs. There's no way in hell you can forget about me. Keep talking about him. Keep talking to him. Ask him about me, shaking his hand, meeting him as a gentleman. Even though I know about him right now, I've met him in person. Unlike these little sleuthers or anything like that, I've met Keegan in person. Me just how I am. Can't wash my hands enough. Shook his hand as a gentleman. Well, nice to meet you. I was introduced to Keegan by Abriana. Her mom, both, is Keegan Klein, her boyfriend. At the same time, he had Anthony Schott's profile. But ask Keegan next time you talk to him. Walnut Street, Abriana. The White House. It's weird because it had like steps going up to what used to be a door. Door's no longer there. It's a wall. So it was literally a steps for like a stoop. But yes, Abriana. And make sure I got her name right. Jessica Kennel. You should know Jessica Kennel. When he's over at her house, that's when I met him. Abriana Balder. Vawter. Jessica Kennel. That's where I met him, is at Jessica's house. 3 houses down from where I lived. So, yes or no? Was he dating Abriana? Was that the picture I showed you of the bay? Sonny pushed it off on another one. But I know for a fact I was introduced to Keegan by Jessica and her mom as Abriana's boyfriend. Now I'm just asking, was he or was he not that was the picture with Abriana I showed. I already got a friend of hers for a long time that's already positively ID'd and willing to actually go to law and be like, look, I can positively ID that I've been friends with this girl for this many years. This is the picture. That's Abriana when she was dating. But what I was getting at, Jessica and Abriana, that family, lived 3 houses down from me. But I was introduced to Keegan by Jessica and Abriana. See? But when I was introduced, it was as her boyfriend. And like I've been getting called a liar on that, when I was introduced to Keegan, when he was actually driving and picking up and everything, okay, I know that now. But I was saying, when he was dating Bree, it was right there at that White House next to the alley in Walnut. 3 houses down from where I lived. And if he remembers, like, this is something that would get his memory jogged. The next door neighbors was a Navy disabled veteran. He had a little scooter about like what Randy rides around on. but he has a scooter that goes on the back of his truck that he's got a walkway going up, and it's a wheelchair. When did you date Bree then? And damn, he's keeping it in the family. I'm not trying to be funny about that, but damn, you go from one cousin to the other. That's called keeping it in the family. That boy survived down in Alabama. Shit. Let's keep it in the family. Okay. You go from the cousin, like one cousin, then you go over to the other cousin. What the hell? But no story. Not making this up or anything, but he knows more than what he is talking about. And it's that drug ring. And it's going to come to bite him in the rear end. If the more Keegan fights it, the more Keegan fights it and not want to talk about the drug ring, it's about due time. Because it's about to come out. He does it or I do it. His connections to that drug ring, Keegan, Gabriel Ellis and the rest of them, he needs to man up. Period. So if you're about to talk to him, by all means, he needs to come clean with the drug ring individuals like Gabe Ellis and the ones he knows in that drug ring. Like Armand and a few others. Those names keep going back to case after case in and around multiple missing killed cases. From Delphi to Indianapolis, Lafayette, there was just a murder. And I've got it on one of my other live feeds. There was just a murder. The guy ended up stalking a woman down and killed her, cold-blooded, right there in Walmart parking lot. Anthony Perez. I'm showing friends of his go right back to Derek German, AJ Robinson, and a few others that are right there. Right there. In the Delphi case. Same thing. The drugs. But yet, law enforcement doesn't want to bring this up, let alone poke at it, look at it. Makes me sick. Oh, he's going to come back saying, oh, I don't remember that, dude. I think he's full of nuts. Like, he's nuts. He remembers me. You can't not, like, unremember me. I had a cane at the time and 2 leg braces. I'm slow as hell walking. I'm walking with the damn cane right in front of Jessica, where he was hanging out at all the time. And you guys read it right there. And you guys heard it right there. Wife Lilith admits Bree dated Abriana, aka Bree, dated. If anybody, like Charles, somebody can screenshot that, she dated Keegan. Just like I've said, and like Sonny tried saying, oh, I'm a liar, I don't know what I'm talking about. Right there. She's off talking to Keegan again right now, which, again, like everybody said, why not trust his wife Lilith? She's running off talking to Keegan now. But right there, she admits Keegan and Abriana did date. And who's the liar now? It's what's not being said and what needs to be brought up. And I'm bringing up, talking people's brains like, whoa, yeah, Abriana, Bree, dated Keegan. Yes, that did happen. Whoa. That was even before Allie. So if she was dating him right before the, like right after the Anthony Shots thing, I'm sitting there like, she's even trying to say that's Ellie. But I've got a friend at Abriana saying, yeah, and I thought I blocked her, to be honest. How she's on the live is beyond me. I'm being honest about that. Because everybody started saying all that. High ups working with the low lives, filling with Delphi, with the girls that were tricked there for a movie, but accidentally poisoned then staged. But yeah, public art critic. I'm gonna bring up. There's a drug ring. Even Derek, the father, and a few others were involved in. Law knows about this, and law doesn't want to look at this direction. Doesn't want to even it brought up. Avenue looked at. They don't want to look towards it. Why? As you got judges that belong to the same cartel drug and sex ring. Yes, it's two different. Drug and sex ring. Danny DeMolin is the AK pimp of the town of Kokomo. He was the one doing the pimping the girls out and played a major role. This for like Tierra Jade and a few others. He had gotten busted for running sex trafficking out of his titty bars. Not gonna sugarcoat it. Strip clubs. He had over 16 cases of what do you say? Prostitution. It was his little buddies in the Kokomo Good Old Boy Club, the corruption, and the ones individuals like up above. I'm going to have you guys right now look up 2018. And actually, I can kind of do that. Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. There. Yeah. Walnut Street. The alleyway in Walnut where Jessica lived in the White House. And it had, looks like a stoop that went up to a door that's no longer there. They would always sit on the two ledges, which are like literally a 90-degree angle. And then there was a stoop that went up to an old door that's no longer there. Jessica and them lived right there. But that's when I met him, was when Jessica and Bree was living right there on Walnut Street. But yeah, right there. That White House where Jessica and Bree was living at is when I met him when I was walking with my ex and her two daughters. One was in a stroller. Me, I was with leg braces, and I had a cane. I had to actually move my cane in order to shake his hand. I always shake with my right hand. Muslim way is the left hand, not me. I always shake with my right. I had my cane in my right hand, I had to move it over. But yes, I did meet him in Kokomo. It was 3 houses down was where my ex lived. But Jessica and Bree was living right there. And I just want to know. I'm sure as hell alive. And he needs to start opening up about the drug ring and his buddy, Gabe Ellis, and a few others. Because if he don't, the defense is going to eat him alive. Because, oh yeah, I'm about to work with a certain defense and bring Keegan up. He's not going to like me. But yeah, guess what? Bye-bye. I had her blocked, and how she came up yet again. He's covering for himself because he knows I'm right. I know I met him, and I take a polygraph. Unlike him, I can pass it. I know who I met, where I met him. How else would I know where Bree and Jessica lived? And you've seen it right there, and I had you guys, hopefully somebody screenshot that. And if you do Hunting Evil True Crime at gmail.com, it's the HETC is all capitalized, everything else is lowercase. But gmail.com. Give me 2 seconds, I gotta take a drink. She gets on my freaking nerves. I've had her blocked, even from the chats, but how she keeps coming in is beyond me. Yes, I'm on my bed, so don't make fun of me. I gotta do something real quick. I'm trying to get a drink going, and I need a cigarette because she gets on my freaking nerves. She knows so much more, but yet she's using all these routes and the YouTubers that don't know who she is. And, oh, he's listening to me right there. He knows, oh, shit, this motherfucker knows me. I better watch what I say. I gotta act like I don't know this dude. Because he knows me. I'm not dead. Far from it. You hung out at Jessica's all the time, like she just admitted he's there. And yeah, I knew who she was, but yeah, you guys seen right there, and I can go back through my messages and everything on this, in the comments, even on the live. I can screenshot some stuff. Even though after I blocked on this right now, I can still go back through on my YouTube studio and screenshot. Right there, she was talking to Keegan while he was listening to me. And I know damn well you heard, you might want to start opening up about the drug ring, like Gabe Ellis and a few others. I'm not saying who, but I'm talking to a certain defense team. They're wanting to look into the drug ties, the drug connections down to Gabe Ellis, the debt that was owed, money and drugs, more than one family member, two different sides of the family. Then where both families are actually friends with a murderer and her friends, but nothing to see there. And it's not the first time, because there's another individual brought up, Dusty Hooper was friends with Anna. And that's when I called her out on a couple things. She started hating what I was saying. She had Liggett, the one that's now sheriff, call me, making threats to use his badge against me to shut me up and to stop talking to her. The first time Anna told me to stop talking, so be it. She messaged me up the second time, so free game. So I'm going to answer some questions you had, and I'm going to have some questions of my own. Since you're up to talking again, I didn't come to you, came to me. Let's talk. And yes, insurance, and then I'm hearing, when it comes to Florida, look up Beacon tax and property information. Guess who had houses in Florida? Mike and Becky Patty. Not too far from where actually the Florida fires were, mind you. I'm actually hearing they are actually the ones that actually did the how do you call it? What do you call it? The pretty much setting the price of how much the property is owned. I can't remember what the hell they were calling it right off the top of my head. And if I kind of seem a little out of it here and there, not on any drugs. I'm on stage 3B out of going into 4. The situation with Gabe Ellis and Prince William Road. If you look up the times, I want you to actually pull this up while I'm talking to you. You've got two different times. You've got Derek German and Dustin Prater stealing, and mind you, this goes into more like this because you got Toby Garth up here and Ashley Garth and her little drug ring connections up here. Was her dad getting money from like Gabe Ellis, Dustin Hooper, not Dustin Hooper, but Dustin Prater, Derek, and that whole drug operation, to allowing individuals like Derek and Dustin, family friends, to steal money off of his workplace? Yeah, Ashley Garth's dad worked at the co-op, which is, they call it ammonia, whatever place, ammonia plant. But Toby Garth was a manager for a long time. Even back when Derek and Dustin stole the ammonia from their place. Notice they refused to name the individual they were going to transfer the ammonia to for them to make the meth. Then the time frame from Derek pretty much walking, no charges, but Dustin gets all the charges. Then you're going to look up when Gabriel Ellis and Heather Faris, Faris, was arrested not too long after in 2008. You're going to start noticing, was this the individual they were supposed to give the ammonia to manufacture the meth? He didn't catch on that, oh, he got busted, but oh yeah, he's out. And, oh, hey, by the way, I got ammonia. Can you meet me up here? And then I pass this on to you, and can you manufacture it for me? Not too long after that, you got this person getting pretty much set up and then picked up. And it's the same reason that it's going back to over 50 missing killed cases back with, like I said, public art. And you guys are asking it's more in my opinion. You've got individuals within this drug ring that show up from Richard Allen, his wife. You got some of the same names going into like Keegan Klein. From Keegan Klein, you got them going to other cases like Karina. You've got the Logan Sport fires. You've got the Florida fires. And then from Florida fires, you've got the baby Amia down Indy. Her mom and her dad was involved in what? That's the most concerning thing I've noticed. And look how long it took for, like, Delphi, for instance. Going on 6 years for them to even do anything. And it's done in haste. And if they don't watch it, some people might be walking. Because there's still people that were involved that are walking. And it just irks me when I feel it's for political reasons. If you look at it, within 48 hours of Thomas coming out with the, pretty much his affidavit of why he's doing the lawsuit, you go from having a lawsuit coming out and there's some damning things in there that will make the sheriff, Liggett, and the Carroll County Sheriff's Office look bad when it's things that were brought up by Thomas. Was Richard some of the other things brought up and overlooked? Didn't want to look there? Didn't want to see that? And public, you don't have to do the KG or anything on that. Speak freely, because you're going to confuse the hell out of me. KG? Who the hell's KG? And the FBI, I want to be honest with you. There's 110% proof. The agent over me, Michael Curtis, Brad Holder, sits in my informant files. 2 groups he belongs to. Kelsey German. And how do you say that? Things in the story weren't matching up, or need this or that, trying to figure out. And there's a reason keep changing the story. Did you also know that Cheyenne? Look up where her mom's from. Surprise! Kokomo. Do you realize Gabe Ellis' underage daughter? Inconsistencies. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you. But did you realize Cheyenne, the one that took the photo, was friends with, of all people, Gabe Ellis' underage girlfriend? And mind you, remember I told you I've got, and I can show, I can put it up on the pictures and everything on the community, where I asked Gabe Ellis' underage girlfriend at the time, Sierra Daly, asked her family, was Sierra with him when they went and did Delphi? I don't think she was, and I ended up getting blocked right after that. But it just so happens one of her friends from Kokomo, that she knows from Kokomo, is one of the witnesses. Now even they're trying to set him completely up, but one of the witnesses there was friends with the underage girlfriend of what should be one of the main suspects. But yet, her story has holes in it. Doesn't make sense, and a lot of us are asking, what the hell? It doesn't make sense. And the cover-up, yeah. That's why they're trying to, like hell, set up only one person, and they're not wanting to look at that drug ring. Because when they look at that drug ring, you got individuals like Judge Fouts that belongs to. Everybody's trying to say Lafayette. I've named it Kokomo Good Old Boys Club. You've got individuals like a Howard County Commissioner. You've got judges, friends with defendants that they're taking their cases on. You've got a prosecutor. Look up Flint Farmer on Mark McCann's Facebook page right now. Ta-da! Brittany Causey. Every time you turn around, she's out walking the streets months on end with what? Warrants on her. She actually played a major role in a murder. Walked right out of it. Guess what? She's friends with the prosecutor, among others. Then you got individuals like Adam J. Pratt, friends with the prosecutors, judges, politicians, elected officials. I've even noticed where Jim Buck knows a lot of this going on as a state rep, but I'm not seeing nothing. When he's friends with some of these main individuals, politician-wise, and I've even heard it, I've got actual proof, and I'm about to get this cell phone in hand, where it's multiple texts, recorded phone calls, and in both texts and phone calls with this agent between me and him, the FBI has known corruption within Kokomo and Howard County for years, and they've had it in their, back burner brewing. The world. Crimes on top of crime, sex abuse, drugs, corruption. It's this Kokomo Good Old Boy Club and its cartel. How the girls were done. Look up other cases missing and killed in this area, and you'll see how cartel acts. When the cartel's involved, you've got knives, machetes, sharp objects. That's how they deal with things. Not often do they use guns. It's always knives and that sort of things. And then, yes, there's times where they do guns. But then when it comes to a cartel active ring that's been allowed to, how would you say it, intertwine itself, get individuals from elected officials down to politicians. You've got local PD showing around this. I actually can show right now where Howard County Commissioner right now. Look up Angie Rowe. Caleb Nutter, Angie Nutter, his wife, among others. What is a broker for a Howard County Commissioner? Mind you, look this up if you don't believe me. I gotta turn. What you're hearing is on my laptop. It's on my computer, like my handheld. But this is on my laptop, so anything that comes ding ding, it's my Facebook going off. I'm trying to shush that. But I do want you guys to bring up one thing. Call Mark McCann's office before they close. What I just let you hear, they do above and beyond to make sure a defendant gets to see his day in court. But yet they know physically, you heard it right there. That captain out there at the jail knows there's active death threats on a suspect they have in their custody. And it's the same jail that multiple deaths have been happening. But I want you to call and demand Flint Farmer be moved into IDOC custody. You've got a captain out there at the jailhouse, Captain Deckard, admits right there in audio recording that there is an active death threat, multiple. He said not just one, but there has been people, multiple, wanting him dead. And where they got him right now, it's called Red. There was one CO, she set him up this morning to be transferred to Red, which is kind of a different holding cell area than the safe cell where they had him. He was moved out of the safe holding cell to where active members that want him dead are sitting right now. At least 4 black men and 2 white males have a price on his head sitting in red, right where they just moved him. Flint Farmer comes up dead before anything gets heard in court. I'm telling you that right now. They set him up to go to what's called red. It's like a when you get in trouble, I forget what the hell they call that, but when you get in trouble, they kind of send you to segregation cells. But there's an active price on his head sitting right there in what they call red. Because right now, why would you want to do that? Because right there, they would just close Karina's case outright, and nobody else could be charged. And I've had so many people call me freaking nuts. I want you to go back in one of my videos where you have Brad Willer, Alicia Willer, Brad and Alicia, two of the witnesses right there on Karina's case that are witnesses, which is like gross misuse of the word. Shannon Jackson Young, the one that dropped her off, hidden, redacted. 24 hours before the press conference, if I didn't know what I was talking about, didn't know any of the names or anything like that, nothing, if I was a liar, 24 hours before the press conference, go back and watch that video. Brad Willer, Alicia Willer, you've got Shannon Jackson Young. And then, I'm not going to lie, on Keegan Klein, page 144 of the affidavit, look up Curtis Clark out of Galveston. That is the hidden friend on his affidavit. And then if you look at Curtis Clark, this is what's concerning. Yet again, you've got Keegan. Friends of his are close, yet again, to like this time, the Marchands. I don't care if I said that right, but Becky's maiden name, her side of the family, are so close with close with Curtis Clark, the hidden friend. What they do not want you to know. How I know this? It's right there in front of your face. You just got to know who and what to look at. But like I said, Curtis Clark out of Galveston. That is the Galveston friend they're trying to hide in the affidavit. Page 144. That is his buddy out of Galveston. Then look at how many friends of his that are family with Becky. They knew yet another friend and friends of another individual. Just like Ashley Garth, proven murderer. But nothing to see here. Why? Then you got individuals where they're going about 6K right now, parading individuals that are doing nothing but keeping things hidden and what you don't need to see. They don't want you to see. Why? It's because the more you know, the more you look, the more you see, the more you open your eyes. Look towards that drug ring, not away, and you're going to start noticing some major issues. But yeah, I'm going to come on here in a little bit later. And Randy Warner and that Kokomo crew, they're not going to like me later.